So they got to find some stuff early on. Top lane would be nice to influence, but it is a little hard. The setup that comes in for Sion is not great. He has decent follow-up if he can actually get a fully charged Q off some CC by somebody else, but that's hard to do as Leesin doesn't have any hard CC early on.
Nope, just a slow with that E. So certainly curious to see how Levi goes this game, but I mean, we haven't seen Leesin in a while. There's a reason, like you said, the metagame not favoring the aggressive picks that Levi is really known for. So he's gonna, if he's picking something like this, he needs to make it work in the early game. That has always been one of Leesin's things.
Yeah, but one of the things we've always said is when you're struggling, you're not playing the meta well, damn the meta, just play what you play well. And I think that's something that's definitely the case for 100 Thieves, where they tried Sejuani, they tried some of these other things, they tried the Jax, and the coordination is just not there yet. So pick something that you know you can play well. And we saw a lot of Levi's. Leesin plays on Reddit. Let's see if he can pull some off here, get some more on the front page.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make more montages. That's Wiggly with a bit of help, able to take down that blue nice and quickly. Levi also starting blue, but already up to something here.
Yep, gonna go ahead and go around that ward that they have placed. I think Levi might have been there in time to see them throw that one down as he went and sat in that pixel brush. So he's just going to go ahead and steal this red buff away from Wiggly.
Yep, smiteless start with the help of KaiZen on his blue, so even if Wiggly was to wander over here instantly, does not have a smite to contest for, Levi's even going to hold his again. Leesin pretty fast through the jungle.
He even gets the nice blast cone to get back out of there. Lane's not really in a great spot if you try to go for a cheesy gank. That's one of the things you have to be careful. Well, you don't know if it's happening for the sides of the solo laners for C9, but that's one of the concerns is after you get that red buff, someone's pushed up going for a really hard level 1 trade. And there we see Zeyzal going in, scouting out, sees the red buffs up. They know some shenanigans have probably happened.
Gets the info, but Wiggly not going to go down there. I guess maybe just feels like it's too late at this point. Insanity getting some early push there in the matchup. Goes to check. Wiggly is going to get the bad news. His buff is gone. Now going to have to go to the Raptor camp, which always feels real bad for Hunter's Machete Sejuani.
Yep, not going to get any of that red buff regen. We do have the fleet footwork, so hopefully you can sustain a little bit more, but not ideal at all.
Insanity, though, TP's back. Swapping over with Unsealed Spellbook for that early tier timing. And Levi is spotted, but will complete the 3 buff as he moves towards his Raptor camp. So definitely farming early on, trying to keep Wiggly down. Very smooth, good parting from Levi, but looking at hoping for a conversion with these red buffs to try and get into a lane. But right now, no obvious points to try and attack with. Mid and bot currently pushing up, and like you mentioned, Sion doesn't really have that much help he can offer.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to get these kind of farming advantages, but Leesin is not necessarily a farming champion. Good start for Levi, but like you said, he really wants to get into one of these lanes, get into a jungle fight, do something to do more than just path a little bit better. And thus far, not been able to find anything. Does drop a lot of vision in the bot side jungle. Should be a tell to KaiZen. Hey, be a little careful. Sejuani is not in the bot side jungle.
Yep, is trying as well to at least find Wiggly. Did not get it there as he was on the Krugs, but has returned back. Tracker's Knife done. Has some control wards here as well. So looks like both jungles got a pretty similar start despite that farm.
He's got 1 extra control ward.
Hey, not bad. We'll certainly take it as Levi now back onto the Gromp. Tiers stacking in both mid and bot here for 100 Thieves Academy, as they've got those early recalls in. And keeping Zeyzal kind of off to the races as per usual, pushing that in. CS is pretty even, but early pickaxe for Keith is nice, and don't really expect Jinx Tahm Kench to get any sort of edge in their lane. I think even against the likes of Roman Ezreal, so it's going to be fun to watch if that breaks open at all, or if they just kind of farm it out.
Yeah, Jinx is one of those champions who can surprisingly handle some early pushes with her rocket AoE clear. Hold on.
Levi going in, very deep, but proxy electrocute and hops out from under Golden Glue.
Yeah, one of those things where you end up a little further in than you really wanted to be, but does help Linsanity get that mid lane control down, so that's going to work out well for him. But the Jinx point was basically against someone who doesn't push that well, like Ezreal. If you have a good support matchup, you can actually kind of contest the level 1, but not the case here. Now Levi's starting to get control of this game.
Tower dive incoming here. Shiro going to have to dodge this first one. Levi being patient. Kaiser going to take the first little bit of tower aggro. Gets it in. Shiro again just can't do anything. And it's first blood over to Levi.
A little surprised to see Shiro not even burn his flash there. He did get tagged by the Q and maybe felt like it was over after that point, but you got to think maybe he could have lived for a little longer. Kaizen did get low. If he flashed the Scion Q damage, I don't think he dies right away. Unsure how that would have played out. Decides to play it safe in some ways by saying, you know what, I'm dead here, but I'll keep my flash to hopefully live next time.
Yep, TP back from Shiro. See if Kaizen wants to walk back or not.
Nope, he's going to go bot lane.
Ooh.
Has the TP advantage, one of the best things you can do as Scion right now.
Level 6 as well. Going to look for the lane gank bot side.
Against a mobile Jinx, this might work. Leesin is not gonna get spoiled here.
All right, yeah, choo-choo, and I think already Cloud9 Academy get the bad news. Keith is there, but he's gonna get completely knocked back. Zeyzal with a nice hit, but there's the Q follow. Stunned forever, can't even spit him out. Zeyzal, gray health, might actually save him. Flashes out of the way, and that Mystic Shot did not hit. Kaizen forced to flash out as well. How did they get out of that?
Zeyzal barely able to get the gray health off, and then somehow Keith's model got in front of Zeyzal to eat that Mystic Shot. He might have lived through it either way, but very impressive play by the side of Cloud9. Take a look at this top dive first. Shiro getting chunked out a little bit. Leesin starts wrapping around. He knows he's in a lot of trouble. But right here, when they start the dive off with the E to get the slow, does not dodge or flash the Q, just kind of takes it, surprisingly. Like I said, he was pretty low already. Thought he might have died no matter what.
I think I like what 100 Thieves did there in that gank as well, just cornering Shiro, not using any abilities, and just forcing him into, as many bad situations as they could find. So Shiro does play conservatively. Civi escapes the next bit of aggression as a result, as Wiggly will find Levi, who is back to stealing that red buff. Now level 6 on the Leesin as well.
Yeah, and that's what feels the worst, kind of getting cycled, as they call it, when they take your jungle once, they're going to keep taking it over and over again. They have the timings down now. Shiro senses the pressure on the top side. Can't do much about it.
Now knows what's happening. Ooh, Crow camp actually reset, but looks like with the flash up, no redive just yet here. Kaizen, though, good amount of damage done to that turret. Did TP back for additional pressure after the attempt in bot lane went south. And as a result, Keith and Zeyzal are able to keep pushing down on this bot side and leverage the advantage they've gotten in so many lanes here in the Academy League.
I want to see how 100 Thieves Academy bot lane play this from here. They do have a big summoner advantage. It's 4-0 basically. So I'd like to see 100 Thieves, when their bot lanes hit 6, to actually just force onto this bot lane of C9 Academy.
You can also have Levi try and get in there. Oh, he steals it. He actually gets it back. Wiggly cannot catch a break. He's still level 5.
Yeah, they tried to go for the counter invade, but was just a little too slow on it. And a little bit of a miss-smite potentially. Levi's able to steal that one. Feels bad.
Does feel very bad. As Levi applying good pressure. We'll see if he can keep it up. So almost 9 minutes through. Here's a look in the bot lane. Like you said, no summoners really left here.
Yep, no summoners left.
Oh, that's going to spell doom. Keith does have his flash, but he does barely flash out of the way. Recaro needed one more shot, but Keith able to avoid the stun.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Like I said, they can go more aggressive potentially. They have all their summoners up. Not going to actually do that. Just happy to take the summoner advantage and keep winning that bot lane off of that potentially. Now they're going to push this wave in. They did not back off. The ward does spot him.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean they're safe. They're at half HP on Keith.
Wiggly coming down, but they're going to try and do damage to the turret at least. Not a whole lot to do, though. Wiggly finally 6. Might look to turn it around, but just defending at this point.
Yeah, but things are going well for 100 Thieves, all things considered. We've been talking a lot about Levi, and off his back, they've kind of built this 1,000 gold lead. Also, Linsani doing a good job up CS with the amount of pressure Levi's had in the top jungle, and now down the bot lane as well.
Yeah, Kaizen also had a pretty good time. Looked to convert his lead that Levi bought him to more in the bot lane, but as we saw, was unsuccessful. Wiggly avoids the true shot barrage there, just barely. Gonna be able to complete that recall. And Levi is sticking around. They're really adamant that they want this turret. And Wiggly is also kind of maybe suspecting this is not back for a while. It's going to get rewarded. Ulti looks for one, finds Levi. But in the top side, Insanity is going for the dive. Shiro very low goes down, but the trade kill is there as YN will fall.
Yeah, 100 Thieves getting a little too greedy on that bot side play. They had already bought themselves the ability to go top side, and Linsanity was going to make a play up there. Just too aggressive by 100 Thieves bot lane, trying to siege up under that turret. And they give up a kill for it. Unfortunate because, like we said, up here, able to take the first turret of the game.
Yep, extra gold going over to both the solo laners of 100 Thieves, but turret going to be answered. No, maybe not. Aggressive TP from Linsanity. Another TP. Oh, that's that one.
Yeah, the other one was Braum.
Oh, YN swapping back. That makes sense with the unsealed spellbook. I was like, how are there this many TPs?
Yeah, there's 3 TPs in the game right now, Pastry.
The answer is always unsealed spellbook. Defensive TP from YN is nice. Linsanity does complete his to protect his team, as we'll watch this overreach again from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, they know they have the summoner advantage. They're trying their best to try and force down the first turret of the game, and just too far forward there. Gets devoured up, spit back under the turret, and it's unfortunate because while all that was going on down there, up in the top side, just an easy kill onto Shiro, who has lost control of this laning phase now. Frozen hard on the Scion complete. It's going to be very hard for Shiro to do much to him anymore.
The Tabai also there, so can say that again for the little Nah. As again, Insanity trying to play up. Oh, Zazel with a nice roam, actually going to eat up the rise. Flick him back in. YN's here though, but so is Wiggly. No ultimate yet for the Sedge.
Good job by Linsanity, not panicking despite getting devoured up. Knew his team was going to collapse, and there wasn't that much damage on the side of C9 Academy just yet. And so far, the gold lead continues to increase despite that small misstep down in the bot lane. 100 Thieves Academy to 1,500 gold.
And the reason for all this is Levi is continuing to get ahead in the jungle. Does take the blue buff away. Pressure was not quite enough for the Cloud Drake, I suppose. But maybe not really worth investing too much into. And once again, Levi's like, all right, this bot lane's been doing well. Let me just kind of set up down here. My mid lane is fine. My top lane is winning with the pressure that I put there earlier on. So Levi's going to run into this bot side now and try and force down some turrets.
Yeah, and it's a good team game on the side of 100 Thieves Academy as well. Starts off with a little bit of individual play by Levi on that buff steal, and then the gank top as well. But once they get that kill, Kaizen goes and uses his first ult down the bot lane, gets summoner advantage. That's what kind of has resulted now in that turret take. Despite the misstep, they get that kill, and Linsanity with all that pressure.
Yep, do not face check. Glacial Fisher's going to find him. Keith! Oh, what happened there? Zaza with a Devour goes over the wall. Levi, though, is going to follow. Great Winter's Bite from YN stuns Zaza on the other side with the concussive blow. He sacrifices himself. He should go down, and that's Rikara going to get donated the kill.
Not done yet. Linsanity kind of getting jumped on by Wiggly, but no follow-up. So that was a weird interaction where Levi's kick on Keith went off and hit him, but Tahm Kench devoured him out of the midair kick, but their hitbox still went off. So Tahm Kench just popped up in the air, I believe. So bit of a strange situation.
Well, works out still. They managed to get the kill. Wiggly forced a flash here. Tag again. Linsanity flashing forward. Levi with another tag from the Q. And Linsanity getting a kill. Levi donating kills across the map.
Yeah, really good play out of the entirety of 100 Thieves, though. YN roaming up to the mid lane, making sure they could protect Linsanity as C9 go for a bit of a ill-thought-out attempt there. You just lost your bot lane. One died, one had to recall, so the enemy team has control on the map, and they're just over-forcing around the mid lane there, get punished very quickly. And here's that kill on Keith again. We'll have to track to see if that's exactly what happened with the Levi kick. Just too far forward after losing his turret. The enemy hadn't backed out yet. And there the kick goes, and he gets devoured as he gets kicked. So Zazel still gets knocked up. And then that long-range Q by YN locks Zazel down after flashing over the wall, has no way out.
Nice again for 100 Thieves to leave this kill to Rikara. And True-Shot Barrage was not enough to snipe Keith, but I believe Rikara did at least get a hit. Now returning back, looks like Trinity Force is actually on the cards for this Ezreal.
Watch Piglet play it. You know what? I can do that too. And I actually don't hate the idea here by 100 Thieves Academy. We're talking about how important it is for them to close this game out quickly here. The Iceborne Gauntlets, generally speaking, I would say, is the better build and would recommend it. 90% of the time, but the 10% of the time that you're going to get vastly outscaled by the enemy team comp, in my mind, it is fine to go for the more aggressive build.
Trying to snowball the game, as Rift Herald now started for 100 Thieves, who've had a pretty good run of the map here. 2 turrets to 0, still working on mid. Outer is tough to get against Azir, but the Rift Herald will help out with that, as C9 is trying to trade back for a Cloud Drake.
Not bad by C9 to make sure that they do find something in return to losing the Rift Herald, but 100 Thieves are probably more than happy to make that trade, all things considered. Cloud Drake not going to accelerate the game too quickly, but that Rift Herald will be very useful for finally trying to crack that mid lane outer turret, the only one still standing for C9 Academy.
And if they can do it, 100 Thieves going to boost that lead even further forward. 4,000 gold up right now. This ΔoTNG actually going to get some back. He swapped down here to bot lane. Just the top laner with Wiggly also pressuring is going to give a turret over to C9.
Yeah, but that means he's not in the mid lane, which makes this Rift Herald usage even easier. Actually, not even using it. They're just going to take it without it.
Don't need it right now. Have it as insurance just in case. But the cannon wave, well timed there as Levi doesn't quite land that Q onto Keith. But the turret does go over to them as they now going to think about, all right, what tier 2 turret can we get with our Rift Herald?
Yeah, we'll have to see. It feels like right now 100 Thieves are still trying to get into the right lane setup. Ricard is stuck in the mid lane, kind of by himself. Ryze and Braum need to move up, but during this, Shiro's just split pushing down top lane.
C9 looking for a collapse. Ult's not quite gonna stun. Insanity gets tagged for a quick slow, but Merc Treads shakes that off pretty quickly. And looks like things are back to where they need to be right now. Shiro with a wave stack
there we go.
up.
I was gonna say ult to the top lane. What are you doing? There.
Whee! And kills the wave. Highly efficient ultimate use there from Kaizen.
Hey, I mean, it's like a teleport, but not a teleport, so it's better. And with that now, like you said, with the Rift Herald, no neutral objectives up. The blue buff is spawning soon, which is something Levi has done a good job of tracking over the course of this game. Just generally speaking, the buffs on Cloud9 Academy, but doesn't feel like his team is quite ready to follow up on this one. So I think ΔoTNG gets his first blue buff of the game, 17 minutes in.
He does get his first. He'll be happy with that. I saw the kind of desperate looking assist ping there from Cloud9 Academy. He's like, please, please give me this buff. But again, Levi got it on cycle. And Wiggly's like, oh no. He's about to get thieved on.
100 red buffs.
Hey, I mean, 3 and counting right for Levi.
97 to go.
Gonna be a long game, but 97
how many games are left in the season? You got
that's true.
6 after
Total
this week
steals
or something.
That I like. We could do total steals.
Yeah. He just quits the team after he hits 100.
What a milestone. As again, the aggression continues. Rift Herald's going to be timing out in a couple minutes here. Don't get forever with the Herald, but just looking for somewhere to plonk it down and take a turret, or maybe even just force the issue.
It does feel like they have pretty good control over their 3 lanes. Sion versus Gnar, maybe the one where they have the least. So Levi moving between these lanes will eventually find one that he can use. Shiro has to be careful, of course, because with that mid lane pressure, at any point, 100 Thieves could roam up there, so he can't push up quite like he'd want to. And then Zan needs to be careful.
Oh, ΔoTNG misses the scoop, though. Insanity's still fighting, but Wiggly's here. Flash, Wiggly with the... No, doesn't throw the ultimate. Did have it, I believe.
I think it was up, might have just been coming up, but didn't want to follow up after they flash away. Maybe they thought at that point they're too far and the enemy team would be able to collapse. And now that people have shown the bot lane, Levi drops the Rift Herald in the mid.
Yep, decent amount of damage, but could be dealt with pretty quickly here by Cloud9 Academy. Still, that's damage that will stick onto a pretty key turret, so might as well get it done. Looking for ΔoTNG, doesn't find him.
Just trying to poke. Throw some damage on him so he feels a little less safe underneath the turret.
Intimidation factor.
Uh-oh, Mini Gnar missed the Q.
Trinity Force also done, but yep, Levi not going to convert. So resonating strike goes awry. And checking on Keith, who had a decent time farming, but not quite there on the Jinx just yet. Usually 2 items is the point where you start to feel good. 1 is nice, but Keith only with the Infinity Edge done. And versus the Trinity Force here for Ezreal, certainly going to be down in overall power right now.
Yeah, 2 items completed for the Ezreal, 1 in some spare parts for the Jinx, as well as just not really being a dueling champion at most parts of the game. So stuck on wave clear duty in the mid lane. And I want to see 100 Thieves start moving around the map a little bit more. It's nice that they're pressuring all 3 lanes, but with the time that they have, it'd be nice to see the Rise move over the mid lane, or maybe Rakara on the Ezreal shift up to one of the other side lanes. They do have a lot of pressure, and Baron's probably not on the table right now. And a Cloud Drake in a minute means there's not too many high priority things that they can do. So moving around the map would be what should be the option.
So they're seeing a lot of good coordination already. It's a nice stun. Converts from Rakara after that Mystic shot, comboing with the Braum passive. But again, maybe this is one of the big questions for 100 Thieves is, yes, you can get leads. Levi can provide a lot of good early aggressive pressure. We're always going to think about, you know, any player new to a team is going to struggle. And Levi, of course, is learning another language here in English to try and communicate with his team, presumably. So a lot going on. We'll see if they can, you know, show how much they've grown in a short time and really stay together in the mid game, where that honestly probably matters most.
Yeah, this is the point where Leesin running around the map doing things now needs to become coordinated with other people. 4,000 gold lead is good, but not so large that you can kind of be kind of willy-nilly with your plays. You do still need to be coordinated. You don't have an overwhelming advantage. And C9 Academy will outscale, so they do need to find something to do.
Well, checking in just quickly, looks like Insanity doing nicely on the scaling part. Rakara not quite there on item number 3, but he has the Cutlass, so I feel like there's enough here for 100 Thieves to force the issue around some sort of fight. Just about, again, where do they want to go and can they coordinate it effectively? C9, for the next, let's say, 10 minutes at least, going to be just playing the farm game and trying to scale up and defend.
So far, C9 has been doing a pretty good job of that. They did lose all their outer turrets, but since then have not even taken too much damage on their inner ones, minus that one headbutt by Shelly.
So certainly doing work there, but again, 100 Thieves kind of playing across these 3 lanes. Can be tough. YN though looking for the tag. He and Levi have been teamed up quite a lot. Good combo for that sort of aggressive jungle pushing.
Moving in, getting a lot of vision down in the enemy jungle and pushing mid lane. And this is where we want to start seeing these map movements come in. Does Keith move up to the top side? Do they bait Baron and Realm Warp on top of him? What's the play?
Certainly going to need to find something. Good vision here, though, for 100 Thieves.
Take red buff again. That works, too.
Ah, steal number 4. C9 cautious in their own jungle. Makes sense.
I don't even bother going up there anymore. You know Levi's got the timer. Get your blue buff.
Get tagged instead. Insanity roaming over, but not the best angle for him to try and flank. Not a super obvious engage point either. Braum ult is good, but a little tough to hit. And Silent ult's great, but not usually in choke points.
Nope, he wants that kind of clear angle in the river when you're baiting Baron and these kinds of things.
Still in bot lane, so it's tough for him to get over.
Yeah, not even in the area.
That's the deal with Shiro. Starting to feel a little bit worried in these last few minutes.
I mean, it's great that they have the jungle control, but that needs to turn into something pretty quickly here. If this stalls out for another 5 minutes, I think they're in trouble. And looks like Levi's side's, yeah, we are stalling out. Let's hit Baron.
It's maybe a ruse, though. Does hit it in vision of Cloud and then clear the vision. Going to force him to check. Insanity wants a kill, but flashes in and does not root Wiggly. He didn't even use his flash.
Yeah, bit of a mistake. And now a dangerous path by the bot lane, getting really chunked out.
Keith letting it rip, though, with the rockets. Does have the Hurricane now finished. This turret's going to fall as a result of that mistake by Insanity.
This was the concern, the coordination on 100 Thieves Academy. Once they have to start playing around the big buffs. Linsanity just went for a flash, didn't get the W off. Then they start panicking. They have to get back to the mid lane because they've lost priority over that. They take an unsafe path, and next thing you know, C9 Academy get their second turret of the game.
Yep, lost a bunch of their Baron vision as well. So all of the hard work they've been doing for the last 5 minutes is undone. Cloud9 Academy continuing to scale up. Keith is kind of at that springboard point for a lot of these late game carries. 2 items, you can start farming aggressively. You feel like you can compete more in some of these team fights. And as Ezreal is kind of starting to peak at these 3 items. Jinx will only get exponentially stronger as this game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, you might grab a Last Whisper to cut through some armor that some people have started to build on the side of C9. Shiro having that chain vest. But yeah, like you said, this is basically the strongest Ezreal's gonna be versus this competition. And Nara will just get more and more annoying against KaiZen, who still has a slight item advantage, but it's rapidly slipping away. So 100 Thieves need to find an angle here. Levi's known for his crazy Leesin plays, and if he can find one onto Golden Glue or Keith, he can instantly win the game for his team potentially.
Yeah, Insanity also with the 3rd item. No Void Stuff just yet, but not a whole lot of MR on the side of C9A. Zhonya's done though for Rise. Obviously has a much different functionality, and here comes KaiZen looking for the initiation. Finds only Wiggly. That might be decent. Levi can look to try and kick one back in, and they do grab it.
Yeah, Levi with the kill steal there after a good engage, gets himself kind of chunked out, but oh, he popped.
Chunked out too much. Jinx took it from Keith, the Truth McBrief. Able to take one down, and Jungler's being dead means that all the plays except killing each other are kind of called off. Knockback though onto Zazor from the knock up there on Sion. Golden Glue in, soldiers everywhere. Insanity letting it go. Good bounce damage there, but the damage not enough. Golden Glue flashes forward, seals that kill until Insanity.
And there you see the power of the rest of C9's team comp. Levi for Sejuani might be an okay trade on its own in a vacuum, but not when the enemy team still has an Azir and Jinx left up. He gets finished off after a good engage by KaiZen, finally finding an angle. Now they're getting flanked.
Shiro with the frozen mallet, trying to slow one down. TP in from Wyan. Yep, this is the Braum.
Always got to check that.
I actually didn't check. That was I just assumed.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Braum. It's like, who else would it be?
Yeah, I guess KaiZen was already there.
That's true. Insanity's dead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my intuition said defensive teleport was the support.
Yeah, you got it right. And it's one of those things where it's probably worth swapping over to another summoner. But now, 100 Thieves get a little desperate. Just brute force from there and off the recall.
Levi's like, well, if I can't kick somebody, I will outsmite anyone. We'll see just how that one goes. Oh, goodness. Keith is lining it up. Wiggly finds the ult. They're actually still on the Baron. They should be able to get it. Wiggly can't find his way in. There's no vision. Flash in! It's KaiZen that gets it. Everyone's okay. Wiggly goes down. And, okay, it worked.
I mean, do what you gotta do to get the win. The coordinated team plays clearly weren't working out for 100 Thieves Academy, so you know what? Let's just force it 50-50. It came down to it, but 100 Thieves have more damage in the pit, so it goes over to their side.
In some ways, that's the most coordinated we've seen them really look in this mid-game, because at least they all did it together.
Hey, and here's the thing. I always say, you know, you should make well-coordinated plays. You should play the game correctly. But when you're not playing the game correctly, when you are having the game slip away from you, you need to recognize when it's time to just brute force a play. And 100 Thieves Academy did that at pretty much the right time. They just lost a fight in the mid lane that had started pretty good for them, and they didn't want to risk continuing to get outscaled, so just screw it, let's force a Baron.
Playing correctly is nice, winning is even better. Levi looking for the big play, only finds Shiro for the bounce house. This Golden Glue will get the kill on the jungler. KaiZen a little too far forward, but Shiro did get slain by Rikara.
Yep, Levi could not get the angle. This is why Tahm Kench is such a problem for champions who love looking for pickoffs. But 100 Thieves might not be done yet.
Nope, we're gonna circle back around. KaiZen pretty tanky on the Sion. No ultimate up right now, but Rikara feeling confident, stepping forward with his 3 damage items as the rest of it will get called off. 2 minutes to play with the Baron buff, but we'll watch this one again.
Yep, this is like I said, not a smart play, but potentially still the right one. The game is getting away from you, brute force it. Insanity is playing zoning duty on Wiggly, making sure he can't quite get in this angle, so Wiggly has to wrap around up to the other side. Does get into the pit. The smite comes down at the exact same time by Levi as the Sion W shield pop. I don't know if that was coordinated, but that's actually a decent chunk of damage. So either way, that thing dropped from about 790 or something, instantly to 0. 100 Thieves grab that Baron buff. They start pushing with it right away. They grab the top inner turret, and they still have a minute and a half left. They want to ideally break an in-hip turret, but it's going to be really hard to do if the enemy team is just turtling under their turrets with an Azir Jinx.
Yep, again, just try and find a little bit more. Take the Cloud Drake off the map. That's what Levi's up to right now. Keep pushing those lanes forward as Insanity is camping Wiggly around that Krog camp. And looks like transfer of power to the bot side here. Insanity does not have TP just yet. 80 seconds means he won't join this, but I think enough smart map movement to give 100 Thieves some time on the turret. Golden Glue, though, ruins that plan. Keith also here as well, so a lot of wait here for C9A, but Levi's maybe up to something for a tower dive.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They did hear the Dragon go down, so I knew he wasn't there for a little bit. And Insanity is also showing up at the top side, so they're aware this is just a 4v4. Could work out well for 100 Thieves Academy. I do like how they split the map right now.
Yeah, C9A peel off. Insanity trying to buy time, flashes his way out, and Realm warps to safety.
Yeah, you got to play those escapes a little safer now that the Zhonya's does not instantly free combo you out of there. And he is able to dodge out long enough to get his own ultimate out of there. Loses his flash for it.
I will say it was fun for a little while doing Stasis TPs out with Realm Warp, but so much cooler now.
Yeah, way cooler to see him have to dodge out on a Gnar ultimate or a Zir ult. And it's also a lot more fun to play against, I'm sure, too.
Yes. Well, fun for everyone else, but you if you're a Rise player.
You're a dirty Rise player, all right? You don't get to have fun. You're fun.
That's true. I just get to spam a lot of buttons. Insanity looking good so far. Farmer's been pretty monstrous between the two, but he was pressuring nicely in the early stages. I feel like 100 Thieves are committing to a pretty simple strategy, 5v5, probably feeling composed that there's not a whole lot in it. Ooh. Although now the 5v5 is actually going to start. 100 Thieves might find something. Keith is low, but not going to go down. The True Chop Barrage flushed out of the way, but Insanity claims Wiggly as the consolation prize.
Yeah, really scary there. Both 80 carries walked kind of into each other and were willing to trade a lot of damage back and forth, but Keith is so much more important to his team, so when he gets chunked out of the fight and can't re-engage, it's pretty easy for 100 Thieves to decide to go in, and they just focus down the closest member, kill Wiggly again. And with that power play, Baron's run out, but they have the man advantage now.
Keith with no sums. Maybe also vulnerable. Golden Glue forced to cleanse out. Turret down. And the 100 Thieves might even push forward for the inhibitor. Wiggly dead for 15 more seconds.
You got to be careful. That spawn is coming back up soon. They don't have the inhibitor yet, and they're chunked out. It's a little tricky, but they're going.
Yeah, Keith got chunked. He's actually might be a zoning ult there from Kaizen. No, not enough time left. And 100 Thieves going to play safe. Everyone onto the Realm Warp and out easily.
Those minions are like, hey, now we need to walk back there again.
I already did this.
Unlucky for the minions getting a little bit of an extra workout, but a good fight for 100 Thieves Academy. As you see, Keith just gets shipped on, takes a lot of damage. It also gets Ezreal pretty low, and Rakara has to flash out. But like we said, Keith is so much more important for his team. So if he's not able to team fight, it's actually easier for 100 Thieves to take a kill there.
Yep, they may have two great carries in Azir and Jinx, but they need to be able to fight to have influence. 100 Thieves with an obvious spot to attack here in the bot side, but unfortunately for them, Baron up in a minute 30. Would have loved to have taken that inhibitor. I'll have to settle with finding some sort of other engagement, though.
Yeah, and Insanity also swapped away from the TP, surprisingly. Hold on.
Ult onto Kaizen, he's very tanky. Ult's out, though. Wanting to stay extra safe.
Yep, I don't hate that idea. It's a minute and a half about, like you said, until Baron.
Someone finally on Cloud9 Academy gets a red buff, but it was close.
It was close.
Rakara almost stole it away. 100 Thieves are on the attack. At least 4 strong here in mid. Insanity going to join shortly.
Yeah, mostly focused on pushing the wave in, but you got to be careful with how strong Keith is right now.
Again, slows back down. Rakara has a lot of poke here. Even has a serrated Dirk as his final current item just to poke down the squishies on the C9A side.
Yeah, and I don't know how much I like this just kind of 5v5 ARAM in the mid lane versus how strong C9 Academy's comp is. I was saying I was surprised Linsanity swapped to Ghost instead of keeping that TP. Now that inhibitor's broken down the bot lane, I'm not sure anyone can 1v1 him. He would have to risk getting collapsed on, but with the Baron coming up, you could potentially set up a situation to split up C9's strong team fighting team comp. But with the Ghost selected, you're kind of opting into the team fight.
Yeah, again, level of coordination for 100 Thieves. Still learning, I'm sure, for this 5-man squad, but at least they're sticking to something. Do it together, even if it's not the best idea. Maybe just hoping that they can outplay or that C9 make a mistake here in the mid lane, but if they play it tight, you have to think that scaling-wise they're looking good. Keith, though, chunked out again. Just too low to fight here. No, the lock is pop, but the damage is good. Wiggly going to get devoured to barely let himself live, but Shiro on the front line now caught out all alone as Insanity flashes forward to try and catch Golden Glue. Will find him, but he shifts out of the way. No, but Levi actually chased him down. Golden Glue still fighting with Rakara. Able to take down Shiro. Levi still living. as they're trying to save the carries, but they already lost one. Shiro is dead. The front line is melting as 100 Thieves are diving all the way in. Linsanity with the Zombie is wiggly. He's going to get stunned, but the Devour from Zeyzal again will save someone.
No one dies but Shiro thus far, and everyone's low. 100 Thieves might not be able to end the game here, but could potentially get their first inhibitor.
Nope,
actually
can't even do that. I mean, that's the thing. They're picking fights. They're very scrappy, but picking decent spots as the C9 carry step forward. Unfortunately, if you do not get those kills, it does not matter.
And that was actually a super well-played fight. Hold on, Linsanity getting jumped on here.
Yep, oh, but they're actually going to trap them. There's two in. Maybe a huge mistake here for Zeyzal, but no, he is going to live. No, he's not. Linsanity able to get it. Wyan lives, but Keith looking for a reset. Wyan sacrifices himself. And now Levi has to get out. Keith still chasing, but can't chase Levi over the wall.
Yeah, but that's a dead member on the side of 100 Thieves Academy, and C9 are going to start this Baron buff off. They have amazing Baron damage. They're going to be able to get this one for free.
Yeah, Baron is dead already. Some pings onto the Elder Dragon.
Yep, 100 Thieves are going to want to try and trade back, but they're very low. I'm not sure this is going to be able to work out for them.
Not enough honey fruit for Linsanity, but he's just going to start it off. Oh, they found a few, though. I think maybe 100 Thieves realize that's not the best call to action. And as a result, Cloud9 Academy will start up the Elder Dragon.
Yep, they're going to start it up. Levi might be able to steal it away.
Maybe look for a fight. It's a little dicey. There's Kaizen in. Linsanity isolates Shiro, who goes mega. Nice and tanky now, but the damage still there. The stone plate popping it. Maybe late. The blast code is there. Gets himself out. Levi's Q will miss as a result. And now Kaizen, the front side, will die. Resurrection on the front side for Levi as Kaizen tries to take up the rest of the damage, but the carries are so strong on the side of Cloud9.
Also, Wyan was not in the fight, was still respawning, so Kaizen's going to drop. Some members are low for C9 Academy, but they don't really need to play this too defensively. The waves are in a good spot for them. They have a man advantage.
Yeah, setup has been nice. C9 is going to be patient here. Rikara shifts onto Zeyzal, gets himself tagged. Golden Glue sees blood. Going to go for Rikara, but he lives through the Jinx ultis. Linsanity also trying to poke out of the way, but not so lucky without a flash. Goes down to Keith, and Keith's on the attack. He's going to try and chase. Flash Rocket, goodbye. Keith claims two.
Big answer by C9 Academy, going to be able to grab the second major neutral buff in the late game here. Like we said, good minion waves. They don't necessarily need to back. They're going to keep pushing right now.
Might as well push with the power. Both buffs are going to be up for about the same amount of time. 2 minutes left on Baron. Elder Dragon will be here. And this will be a very powerful siege. 100 Thieves going to struggle to repel this one.
Yep, 30 seconds on both carries. Like we said, double neutral buff on. C9 Academy can potentially push to end the game here.
Gonna look for something. Golden Glue gets kicked back. Levi with a big play, but he can't quite find it. Golden Glue still alive. Wiggly and Wyan fighting on the right-hand side, but Cloud9 eyes on the Nexus turret. It's gonna take one down from the left. Now looking in onto the right, Linsanity up on Ezreal within 5 seconds, but the Nexus is exposed, and that will be it. Cloud9 Academy crawl all the way back and take the victory over 100 Thieves.
Yeah, actually end the game with a bit of a gold deficit, just a couple hundred separating them at that point, but that kind of speaks to how close that game was and why 100 Thieves need to play it so aggressively, because despite being down a ton of gold, a Zero Jinx late game is no joke.
And we did see that Keith